So clearly, I am not a sports analytics person, okay? Today, I want to talk about soccer versus football for casual watchers like myself. Okay, I'm talking about people that like to go to watch parties because, hey, it's fun. Everybody's there. Not everybody is 100% into the sports they're watching. Everybody's watching, but at least everybody's there to have fun, to feel the vibes, to support whatever team you want to support, and you know, there's something else to do other than to come up with stuff to say, which maybe not everybody likes to do that, which it's fine. But I really did see the appeal of that after moving to the States. So I moved to the States in 2019, end of 2019, after getting married with my American husband. Okay, like there wasn't a lot of places you could move to as a Filipino with an American like other than Philippines and the US. You know, it's like some people think that, oh, why don't we just live in blah blah blah? Like where are you gonna find your work permit? You think you could just find work just like that everywhere? You know, like some people think like, oh, why don't you live in blah blah blah? Well, yes, I was born and raised in Macau, but I was never a resident there, by the way, because it's not birthright residency there. It's not even citizen because Macau is part of China. Very long story. But yeah, I lived my whole life in Macau not being a resident. I was all my life an immigrant and never lived in Philippines. I had a Filipino passport. It was weird. But at the end of the day, it was easier to do stuff together if we moved to the US. So that's what I did. I moved to the US with my husband and I had to adapt to the culture. There is culture in America. Like some people love to joke that oh Americans have no culture. Their culture is people. Like it's like is the immigrants is like the people that are big fans of sports. Like there's stuff in America that you cannot find outside of America, which I guess that makes it a culture, right? I feel like tailgating. That is so American. Like, who tailgates in Asia? No, we don't even have trucks. I mean, at least in city places, we don't own trucks or, you know, we don't have space for that. And I feel like no one is such a big fan of a team to be doing that. So, first off, okay, big, big difference with soccer and football is that football happens so frequent. Football season is during end of August, like September till like February. That's football season, and during those September till Feb, it would be every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday there will be a game, football game. Every Sunday it would be like all the teams play a game except a few that are having a bye week. So they have like multiple games every Sunday. And I am not even exaggerating. Like they watch their games in multiple screens to how to say to keep track. I'm being so real right now. Red Zone TV. This one is where okay, first okay, another thing. Another thing, I just you know what, this should be the first thing because everybody loves that meme where it's like FIFA versus NFL viewership, right? But this meme does not does not really prove much because thing is first off NFL they're not competing, they're not trying to be the most viewed thingy, they're trying to be the one that earns the most money, okay? And I don't know about y'all, but when you watch soccer do you have to pay for it? No, it's usually like broadcast for free wherever you are, right? Like anywhere you can watch. NFL, you need a fucking pass for every game. Okay, that's very exaggerated, but kind of true. Like some games in Monday, I think Thursday games, it's prime. The passes are all different because like each game might be like in a locally different place, and then so they play differently, and then the streaming services now took over. So like Thursday you need to have Amazon Prime to watch, and then Monday you have to have ESPN Plus, then Sunday Peacock, excuse me. But then like if you do YouTube TV you can watch Sunday games and local games, and that's what we have, YouTube TV. But it's like all of these, but all together, like the price, it's a cost that I'm like, who would buy? Like Americans would, because they would watch this shit. Like it's fun to watch. It really is. And if you can't pay for it, I guess you could go to the sports bar. If you've never been to an American sports bar, by the way, this is not even like one of their more, like best sports bars. This is like a branch. And Duffy's. Inside, you will see a bajillion TVs. Like, I remember the first time I ever came to America and went to the bar with my husband and his friends. I was like, what? You cannot miss anything. There's no TVs like this in Macau. Okay, I live in Macau, where it's a very small like city, but it's a very rich city in below China. Like it's like a part of China, but it's like Hong Kong where they have their own rules or whatever like that. But I bet they can afford shit like this, but why would they have so much TVs like this? Because, I think like they don't want people to stay in Asia. Like they want them to just eat and leave. And for here though, like sports is such a big deal that sports bar is a thing, like a very common thing, like everywhere you can find TVs, and it's TVs. It's not like where in Europe, I'm imagining, right? Like there will probably be like one or two TV. I'm thinking like one just showing a soccer game. That is one important soccer game. But the problem is because football, they have so many different games. And plus, oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys also, like, there's NFL and there's college football. Some states, they mainly watch college football, not even the NFL. Like, it's even more intense for some states. Like, there are, like, it's like these college kids are gonna, like, eventually be NFL players, but not all, obviously. But, like, it's so competitive. And can you imagine how many college football teams are there in the whole America? Like, this is why this meme means so little to Americans. Like, it's like a lot of people are like laughing. Go laugh, it's fine, but it's just like it just doesn't really affect Americans like people think, because we would still be rather watching. Look at this. Okay, this is just college football. And if you're a graphic designer like me, I feel like with NFL, college, like they have very specific colors. Like their teams have these swatches, and you don't switch over like to these. Like my husband and I are Broncos fans. Okay, this horse logo right here. They are native to in Denver, by the way, Denver Broncos. But yeah, that's also one thing. You don't have to be from that country or that state to be a full-on supporter. Maybe the college you should be, you know, like at least went to that school, or maybe someone that went to that school to be a fan. I feel like, or you kind of like bandwagoning it. I don't know, but like you can be a team, a fan just cause like you choose one, but you gotta stick to it. That's the thing. Big tip: do not choose the Jets. Like they haven't won in a long time. Like they're really really bad. Like it's just really rough for them. As a Broncos fan, like it was pretty rough when I started being a fan in 2019. If you follow football, you would understand. But you see, like these inside joke stuff, these are American culture, because you wouldn't know unless you've heard the news and stuff like that, and which it comes up every time, like everywhere, like here, like it's just talked about all the time. Because I also don't know if everyone knows that, I feel like in Asia, we do not surround ourselves with sports this much. And one thing I also don't understand that like there are colleges where they name them party colleges, but drinking age is still 21. So what does that mean? It's and they would like ticket these like underage drinking students. College football games are on Saturdays, by the way. Okay. They started to do international games for NFL, and so like sometimes Saturday for international games. So they're trying to actually get out there, which a lot of locals are like, why? No one wants to watch it anyways because people are like making fun of us. But I swear to you guys, it's fun. More reasons why I like football instead of soccer is because the logos. The logos, alright, it's just way cooler. And it's always like animal based where we get the mascot, our, like, for example, Denver Broncos mascot is called Miles. He is a white horse, see? And there's also an actual horse that rides through. I think he's called Thunder. Let me see. Yep, Thunder right here. Yep. Horse, and he would just like run through. It's just like a lot more gimmicks other than the game itself because they acknowledge there are a lot of people with the football fans. And so we should give some like entertainment for them too, right? Why not? They have the space. America has the space for it. They have the resources. Trust me, they got the money for it. And so it's like always great that there's something to do like a family event. And sports is a great way to connect like families, in my opinion, at least. But yeah. And can we talk about just like, we get it. The soccer is, shorts, t-shirt, very simple. It's nice. But, I just want to say, okay, imagine watching a game with your husband. You're seeing men in this, all right, with twites like this, all right. Look at these twites, okay. And apparently, like the bigger the butt, the better. Like, cause there's more stability and like running and oh, girl, you know what? Let's just see some football highlights of like Broncos because go Broncos.
Running back will be Bidet.
Bidet. His last name is spelled
Nix
Batty, but it's
himself on
pronounced
first and
Bidet.
10. Blocked by Bowles. Touchdown Denver. The Broncos have their first lead today.
He's like the leader of the offense. So there's the offense and defense, and they're never in the field together. By the way, like if the offense is out, it means the other team's defense is there to like defend their goal, and then vice versa. And then each play, it's like they switch. Like they try to get to the end zone to get like 6 points, I think it was. And then after 6 points, you can do like a kick to the goalpost for extra 3 points.
Frank Crum was a 3rd and
No,
14.
extra 1 point. No.
Looking for options.
Yeah, extra 1 point. Sorry. And then, or we could do like extra 2 points or something. But if you miss that, then you won't get that extra shot. And or if you don't make touchdown, but you're close enough to make a kick, then you can do kick. And if it like went through, then it's like 3 points. Like soccer where they go back and forth. Soccer or basketball, like back and forth, shoot. Oh, like you're almost like trying to like, I don't know if you even notice, but it's really hard to throw a football. It's I've tried once like throwing a football like on the beach, and whoa, it hurts so much, and it's all in the hips, by the way. You would think like it's all in arms. Like you see these quarterbacks throwing, and you think like, whoa, it's not that hard if you can throw it, but no, it's so hard. Like you have to, and they do like spiral, like a cannon all the way down there. Can you imagine? They have every type of body, and there's also the kicker. You know, there is an Asian kicker, by the way, called Youngwei Koo. Very cool. He's a Korean American. But yeah, like being the kicker is actually so much pressure because it's like your literal only job is to shoot the ball into the goalpost. And if you fail that, like it's like, why are we keeping you? Ooh, so sad. But like a lot of them now are like either old rugby players, you know, like kicking the ball, or soccer players. So now he's in the Giants, I think. He messed up this one time, and it was really embarrassing. He kicked the turf instead of the ball. But it's hard. I can't imagine. I can't. I really can't. And yeah, so that's why I prefer football over soccer. And yeah, and all the drama behind it too. Oh, and not to mention fantasy football, a whole nother football.